YouTube? It is the Bat Nerd here, and welcome to Pitching It with me, the Bat Nerd, the show where I get ideas for movie franchises that will never happen or should happen. So, the past few times I've done this, I've done superhero ideas. I want to do something a bit different, and I'm going with action. So, of course, Terminator is the Terminator franchise. So, as you know, I am a huge Terminator fan, and I was a bit disappointed with how much bad reviews Terminator Genisys got. I mean, it was said to be the start of a new Terminator trilogy, but it never took off, which was a shame. And I would have liked to have seen at least one more movie made to give it another chance, but it just hasn't happened. But James Cameron has got the rights to the movies back, and he is working on another Terminator movie, which promises to be the real Terminator 3. But until then, we just had the 5 films. Okay, so yes, Terminator. So Terminator 2 is clearly the best action movie sequel ever. And of course, the Terminator is phenomenal. I mean, yeah. Okay, so, yes, this idea that I'm pitching here is, what if Terminator Genisys was successful and they did make sequels to it? Now, I have an idea for, what could happen after Terminator Genisys. So, how about after Terminator Genisys, we get something like Terminator Awakening? It's like 12 years later, Kyle and Sarah are now married, and they have John, an alternate version of John Connor, of course, as a kid, and they also have a daughter. Yes, it's like, because, when Kyle came around in Terminator, they only conceived John because he got killed. But at the end of Terminator Genisys, he didn't get killed. He survived. So what if he survived and they had another child? Now I think, what if they had a daughter called Cameron Reese? John has Sarah's name, so what if they have a daughter and give her Kyle's name? So Cameron, and obviously that'll be staying loyal to James Cameron, and also the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which I thought was an okay show. But yeah, we do that. So yeah, Terminator Awakening. And basically, they've been living, the Kyle Connor, the Reese Connors have been living, as a normal family for those years. And, the Guardian, the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's been like, sort of their grandpa in this scenario. But then Skynet, or Genisys, awaken again, and we get Matt Smith return as, Skynet, and basically that's when the war is back on, and Kyle and Sarah have to explain to their kids what their destiny is. But with this being an alternate timeline, what if John isn't the savior? What if their daughter, Cameron, is now the savior? So, we go on to that. And then, of course, at the end, it can be a sad ending. Kyle and Sarah could both die, and that would be sad, of course. But also, what if we also look deep into the future to when John and Cameron are, like, older, and Cameron in the future, the far future, this is like the future already, but further on in the future, we see her look at something, and then she realizes that she has to do something. So what she does is she preps the time machine ready and goes back in time, and then she's like, she has to go back and kill that girl, Cameron Reese. And then that goes on in another part called Terminator, I don't know, something like Terminator Judgment or something, to stop Judgment Day from happening once again. After postponing it in that movie, they go to the next one, And of course, yeah, Cameron, like, sort of meets her future self as a middle-aged woman, and a young Cameron meets the young Cameron meets her future self, and the future Cameron explains everything to her in the future. Obviously, we'll have action and stuff in it with Terminators and all that, but the future Cameron explains to young Cameron that, and this is like 10 years on from like Terminator Awakening. So, in the future, where future Cameron comes from, it's like, the world the war's been won against the Terminators. The Terminators rule the Earth. They take humans. They brand them. Also, what if Cameron gets a prophecy? Someone telling her that her nemesis has a burnt arm, thinking it's a Terminator with burn off flesh. But then a big shock twist of events. The future Cameron shows the burn mark of a H on her arm. And she has the burnt arm, and she's the nemesis. Talk about multitasking. So then the only way they can, prevent this from happening, because the Terminators, because she was never meant to exist, the Terminators feel that they can use her as some kind of organic weapon, because they need organic tissue or something to power their machines and that. And the Terminators want that from her, and she then realizes that she has to sacrifice herself to save mankind and change the future and make man and machine equal. And I haven't thought this whole plot thing through, but she does it in the end, and the future changes. And then John is like the representative for the humans, while Pops is a representative for the machines. Then we go 100 or so years later at the end, and Pops is like a machine, is still like alive, only just, and is telling the story of the whole history and everything, just as he dies. Yeah, he gets old and goes obsolete and doesn't work anymore. Yeah. Is there anything else I can add? I don't know. I mean, this is a rough idea. Do you think this is a good idea? Terminator Genesis was good and all that stuff. Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, share it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. All of my social media links, my Facebook group, The Bad Nerd's Cave, my Twitter, Instagram, are all linked down below in the description. So be sure to do all that. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can stay notified every time a new video is uploaded to this channel. So yes, that's pretty much it from me, the Bat Nerd. This has been Pitching It. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and until next time, Bat Nerd out.